Gentlemen, this was Dutch. Welcome in Amsterdam.
Hello.
Alright. The noises on your album sound familiar these days. It's like someone walking through the snow in Austria, 2 feet high.
Cool.
Cool, of course.
Nice pure snow. Like it.
Where do you get these sounds from? It's not snowing all time here.
Out of our minds, I think.
I think it snows in Sheffield quite a bit. But
It's just the knarsing of the brains.
Yeah, it's grim up north.
How long does one have to study to understand Autechre's music?
about a second.
No, yeah, I don't even reckon a second, about a nanosecond.
Most people learn before they even hear it.
Yeah, I reckon you know everything anyway.
It takes time to get used to the sounds of Autechre and to know the songs. But how difficult is it?
I don't know, it's not difficult for us at all. I reckon it's instinctive. I think it should be for the people.
Is it easy to make these songs?
It's instinctive, but it sometimes takes time. But it isn't difficult.
Yeah, it's not difficult, we just take a lot of care. Spend a lot of time getting it just right.
It took us a lot of time just to pronounce the name Autechre right. Is it the way I say it now, Autechre or Autechre? Or?
It's not really very important to us. I think you can say it how you like. We say Autechre.
Your records, have they something in common? Is there, let's say, a certain evolution?
Yeah, we hope so.
Yeah, we certainly don't approach records for the sake of, we approach them for the sake of discovery and
Entertainment.
And I think as we get bored with stuff we've been doing quite a lot, we'll move on, but we certainly don't plan. We don't plan where we're heading. We're not sure where we're going exactly.
Do you talk yourself about an oeuvre?
About a what?
An oeuvre? I mean, do you love your own music? Is it very important for you?
Yeah, I mean, we make it for ourselves and for our friends.
The names you give to the songs, do you pick them at random or where do they come from?
Out of our heads.
I mean, in my dictionary, words like cipator or retic egg, chewy.
Cipator? Well, it's something that works against anticipation. You can't anticipate it, therefore it is a cipator.
Retic AC is just an abstraction of maybe 3 titles we had for one same track that were all different versions of the same word, and we just pull words apart and put them back together.
Yeah, we remix the title.
Do you have your own studio?
Yeah. It's a home studio. It's quite basic.
Stress-free. Easier at home because obviously no pressure. You don't feel like you're at work.
Like I know that people like Mike Caradinas, they don't have a studio but they work in their bedroom.
Yeah, we don't work in our bedroom, but the studio's at home.
Yeah, it's the nearest thing we can keep it to a bedroom because that's how we started, I suppose. It's a nice place to spend all day.
So Autechre is not just about machines.
No, it's about, I don't know.
2 human beings
Yeah, something like that.
playing around with machines.
Yeah, playing around with people's brains.
There's a guy on the other side of the window called Jimmy Tanner. He's trying to say something. But since we are machines now, we don't understand what he's saying.
Jimmy, speaking binary.
He's speaking his sign language.
Talk digital, Jimmy.
Oh, he's giving a pretend blowjob.
So he definitely went to the peep show this afternoon.
Yeah,
He did. He didn't go go-karting.
I reckon he lost the plot entirely.
Jimmy Tanner is a liar.
He's a star.
Autechre, is there a big difference between your records and your live performance?
Yeah,
Yeah, there's a big difference.
yeah. The difference is that there's other people that when we make the music, and I think that changes what we do.
It's all made up on the spot, live. It's almost like we're jamming. And I guess the only connection is that we do that before we get our tracks finished in the studio, but it's certainly more freeform when it's in a club and it's live.
So there is a place to improvise live.
Yeah. I mean, you're sort of just creating something on the spot. You're making something for that moment. You know, I don't know. It's different. We just approach it differently.
It's not just pushing one button and then the show goes on.
No, it's pushing about
15 each,
yeah
every 3 seconds.
every half a second, whilst doing about 3 other things as well, and also trying to listen to the track.
Part of what you both are doing takes place under the name of Jazzcom or Gascom. Why do you took this nickname?
It's not so much a nickname, it's an umbrella label we give for when we do tracks that aren't just me and Sean, because that's obviously just Autechre. When we work with our friends or our friends work with each other, it just comes out as a Gascom track. It's quite simple, really.
Yeah.
We can't always be Autechre because sometimes it's not just me and Rob, sometimes it's somebody else as well. So it makes it easier if we have one name for all of them.
Autechre Party Live. What do you expect with this new album, Triastic Slide, to happen?
What do we expect to happen? We don't expect anything. You know, we hope people.
I guess we've done our bit.
Yeah.
Just leave it up to everyone else to do what they want to do. It's out there.
We can't really think about what people are going to think about it, you know, we just make the music and then if people like it, that's cool, we carry on doing it.
Are you yourself thinking of new projects already, or?
Yeah, we've always got things that we want to do in the future, but I don't really see much point in talking about them. It might never become available. But there are things that we're going to do in the future, people that we're going to work with, but we're not really very good salesmen, unfortunately.
I hope we all meet soon in aerospace.
Yeah, I reckon.
Sean, I'll see you at the next wormhole.
Yeah. I reckon there's one somewhere around here, actually. Yeah, thanks for listening.
Jan Hiddink ontmoette Booth en Brown, ook om over een obscure Gascom-project te praten, waarbij Gascom staat voor Gestalt Communications. Maar eerst gaat het, waarom niet, over de verschillen tussen het vorige album 3 Repeta en Chiastic Slide. Sean Booth geeft uitleg.
The last album was quite open. You could see everything that was going on. Pretty much everything was up on show. This time it's a bit more inducing, and a lot of people switch off to that because they don't get induced very easily, or they don't allow themselves to be. So those people would have preferred the previous album, and now I think a lot more attention is being paid to kind of a weird expression that's going on in there now.
Yeah, I think also, I think that we've stopped putting everything on show. We've started to shroud the complexity a little bit. We tried to make our music more complex but appear less complex on the surface, so that it doesn't intimidate people into not listening, so that they'll listen to it on the sort of pretense that it's quite simple music and then start to notice things later.
When seeing and hearing your live, I recognized very little of your releases so far. So I'm wondering, is that me or is that you?
It's us. Yeah, we just don't like doing our recorded music live. It's boring. You know, it's just like, what's the point in paying money to go and see somebody do something that you've already heard? Like, the whole point is to create something within that time.
Sometimes it's nice to be a bit cheeky and introduce a very familiar element.
Yeah.
Of what you've heard on CD and stuff. But we're bored of that now anyway. Our live set at the moment consists of just completely independent new pieces of music that probably won't ever get released. You know,
Most definitely won't.
you know, we don't really want to release it because there's not much point. We might as well create something completely new and completely individual to every live event we ever do. And that's more interesting to us because we're not following a framework that we've set ourselves by reproducing old ideas.
Basically, if me and Rob work on something and somebody else is with us and they're helping work on it, then it's not Autechre. It can't be, you know, it has to be something else, and we just call everything that we work on Gascom that isn't Autechre, because that way there isn't a different pseudonym. If we had a different name every time we work with a mate, we'd have like 30 names, and we don't see the point in having 30 names.
I think originally when the word Gascom was used, it felt good because it was corporate. We were into corporate identities and stuff, and to have a load of people who weren't named, but it was under, like an umbrella. The word's just an umbrella for quite a few people doing lots of different things.
Yeah.
Mostly collaboration.
Yeah, I mean, we've always liked fucking around with corporate identity, stuff like that, because I don't think that it is only the domain of major corporations. I think anyone can do it, basically. You just got all brains.
It works.
Yeah, absolutely.
Your record company is very good at it. Warp is kind of a trademark.
Yeah, they're cool, you know. They're our mates. They got the same way of thought as we've got, you know. They're all.
We got involved. You know, they were doing exactly what we liked to see.
Yeah.
You know, and it captured our imagination, if you like.
First people that did it were Kraftwerk, man. You know, they were the first people that did it. They were the first people that made music and work seem like they could be the same thing. You know, entertainment is work. We are working as your entertainment. You know, that sort of attitude. And I think it's good. It's almost Stalinist, you know. It's almost fucking Marxist, you know. It's like a completely different train of thought. But at the same time, it's using things that exist now and methods that exist now and that have been developed to manipulate us, not to manipulate people, but basically to avoid being over-manipulated by people who've got the money to do it. It's just playing other people at their own game but being outsiders at the same time, and that's absolutely what we're into. You know, we're not interested in becoming part of the system. We want to basically use it to live the way that we live and do what we want to do, but we're not ripping anybody off in the process.
How's club life to you these days, maybe compared to earlier on?
Compared to earlier on? That's really difficult, you see, because what I'm going to immediately think of is the best time that I ever spent clubbing, which was earlier on. So in comparison, it's shit. But I could think of a bad night that I'd spent clubbing earlier on and it'd be good in comparison, so I don't know. I think it's harder to... I think people are less open to new things. They want to have been fed it by the media before they'll go out to a night now. It's getting pretty sad, you know. It's like, if they haven't read about this person, then they're not going to go and check it out. People don't go out just to party. They go out to assess what is being presented. And I don't really like that attitude at all. We come from a background where people basically went out to parties and didn't know what they were listening to but enjoyed it. And then from that, people started to get interested and started to buy records themselves, and eventually it became so crossover that people go out now almost expecting to assess what it is that they're going to experience so that they can then go out and purchase it the next week. It's a very different attitude to partying, you know. It's I don't know, I don't like it as much, really. It's different. I'm concerned, but not too concerned, really, you know, because it'll come round again. Everything goes in cycles.